Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to, I guess, a special bonus round of 16 game here with I was not expecting to cast, but I'm really happy to be able to bring to you here. We have a pretty special PvT, and the first game is going to be on Ohana, spawning over here in the bottom right-hand corner as the red Protoss player. Ladies and gentlemen, he might be playing a lot of Heart of the Swarm, but his ideas never cease to amaze regardless of what game he's playing. We have WhiteRa. Look at that, even smiley face. WhiteRa's always so happy, no matter what happens. Oh my god, I love this guy. And his opponent, spawning in the top left position, posting one of the coolest blogs I think I've ever read on Team Liquid. This guy really is an inspiration, and he's also one of Italy's strongest players. Can he make it out of the round of 16 though? He's a pretty tough opponent, guys. It is aTnClouD. So potentially a very exciting game coming up here. Cloud, of course, a fighting player, very passionate, very emotional player as well. And WhiteRa, of course, can come up with anything because he is a WhiteRa. Are we going to see special tactics here in game number 1 on Ohana? We have a gateway in base coming out from WhiteRa. Nothing too much out of the ordinary at the moment. And we have got a wall off at the front from Cloud. Just going to be planting down this supply depot. I always am a little bit wary of leaving this supply depot on about 40 hit points, simply because probes sometimes can harass it enough before the barracks is built that you have to pull an SCV off to keep building it. And is this going to happen? No, WhiteRa's probe actually... Oh, if it was microed straight up the ramp, maybe, but now the barracks is going to finish and it should be no problem at all. There we go. So first Marine being built now, and I think this depot's not going to have any trouble going up at all. In fact, the SCV is possibly going to be prodding around a little bit. No, it's actually going off for a scout. Cool. Cybernetic score going down. We have a first gas, of course, up for WhiteRa right now. And things are looking pretty normal. Cloud does not want WhiteRa to see what's going on in his base. Of course, this kind of play, I think, was first popularized, the walling off against Protoss, when 1-1-1s used to be incredibly powerful. And Terrans, for a while on ladder, especially on EU, there was a time where if a Terran walled off against a Protoss like this, you would almost expect a 1-1-1. It was super popular for about a month or so. But since then, Terrans just wall off in general whenever they don't want Protosses to scout their tech. And Cloud is going to go in, see that WhiteRa has taken his second gas, so isn't going to be going for quite as fast an expansion as perhaps he originally thought. Hasn't been putting any probes into it just yet, though. And there we go. We'll slowly get those mining. So he's got 2 probes in each gas at the moment, so he can still grab his expansion reasonably soon, should he wish to do so. We'll find out in just a mo. And meanwhile, the bunker is going to be going down at the natural expansion here for Cloud. Behind this, he's got his second and third barracks, of course, a 1-racks gasless expand. So he should be taking his gases at some point soon. There we go, second one going down as well. And this is looking incredibly bread and butter so far from Cloud. In the meantime, from WhiteRa, we will be seeing an indication soon-ish of what kind of tech he's going to be going up to. He's at 200 gas and counting as it currently stands, and the Nexus has been put down at the natural. So this has not been scouted by Cloud yet. These Zealots are currently taking map control, and this Stalker conveniently taking the offensive watchtower here, so that Cloud isn't really 100% sure what's coming. He hasn't been able to get an additional scout off. No, doesn't see the Nexus, knows when the second gas went down, but that's really about it here. And WhiteRa is going to go straight into the robotics facility. In the meantime, we have a tech lab going down on a barracks, and it looks like we should be having a fairly quick stim coming out of him here. He's up to 100 gas, so are we going to see some more add-ons on these barracks, or are we going to see a quick factory pop out of Cloud? Neutral supply depot is not so neutral, so it's being fired upon by 2 Marines at the moment, completely and utterly defenseless. And in the meantime, WhiteRa is going up to an additional 2 gateways. So we're going up to 1 gate, robo into 3 gate. And things looking relatively solid for both players at the moment. Neither player really interested in prodding around their opponent's half of the map. In the meantime, as far as Cloud is concerned, Marines appear to be the order of the day. The neutral supply depot is most definitely deaded. And we have a stim on the way for him as well. The factory's also going to be popping down. Maybe could have put that down slightly earlier given the gas he's floating right now, but really minor stuff to be honest with the build. He's also got the engineering bay to help use up some of that gas quickly. So we should see a starport go down straight away. In fact, never mind, with the engineering bay, this is actually going to line up really well for a reactor on the factory, as well as the starport going up instantaneously as well. 150 gas. Where's this? Okay, waiting for the minerals. So we should see a starport and a reactor go down on the factory pretty quickly indeed. In the meantime, third and fourth gas is now being taken for WhiteRa. And we have the observer now going to be moving out across the map. That's actually the second observer. The first one almost already at the base. We're adding reactors to the barracks here as well. And there goes the reactor on the factory. So things looking pretty swish over here in Cloud's part of the world. Again, neither player has been aggressive at all at the moment. Oh, and that's a mule out in the middle of nowhere because Cloud's doing something pretty cool. He's judging the timing on these mules, and if he thinks they can't survive one more trip, he doesn't want to waste any of the minerals on the patch, so he brings the mule out into no man's land to allow it to die there. So that's what that mule dying there was a little bit about, just a little bit of extra macro. In the meantime, we have a very quick robotics bay with extended thermal lance coming up from WhiteRa, so it looks like he is going to be going into pretty quick Colossus production. Going up to a fourth gateway, and we actually have a fifth and sixth over here as well in the top right-hand corner of the base. So it looks like 6 gates followed by Colossus extended thermal lance, already a third of the way down here at the 9-minute mark. In the meantime, Cloud looking to secure a third base with an awful lot of Marines. The Observer did actually see these as it flew through. So, and a lot of Marines, especially with no combat shields at the moment, are a very juicy target for Colossi, as we all know. First 2 medevacs now out, though, but of course, combat shield's going to be done in about a minute and a half. Not really enough time for WhiteRa to get enough Colossi out to make an absolutely huge dent in that Marine count. First one is at the Watchtower already, though. And we're going to see the second one pop out very soon indeed. In the meantime, on the left-hand side, we got the factory floating down here. Going to be able to see the timing of the third base and potentially any hidden tech at the natural. In the meantime, we have Viking production started here actually from Cloud, because he has spotted this army and he's running back very quickly at the moment. Will a medevac go down with 3 Marines in it? Yes, it does. That's going to be frustrating to lose this early on in the game, especially after he has stimmed. So this is going to be slightly annoying for him. He also has salvaged the bunker at his front, so this push could potentially do a lot of damage from WhiteRa. I think Cloud needs to be a little bit careful here. Second starport starting up now. And we have 2 Colossi with this army. Maybe a couple of Stalkers would be useful. Where is the forward pylon? There is the forward pylon. A single Marine is going to attempt to take it up. It'll take him ages. And here we go, pushing into the natural. Look at how quickly these Marines are dying. Excellent force fields out here from WhiteRa as well. Is this going to be enough? Oh, the SCVs hitting Zealots. Just not the most effective engagement at all, sadly. Both Colossi still alive. The Vikings not able to make too much of a difference. And Cloud down to 60 hit points. 60 supply even. Now 50. WhiteRa up to over double the supply. GG, and WhiteRa, ladies and gentlemen, with an early Colossus push, wins game number 1.